Sir Burkus, you must have felt so terribly alone there, deep down in those crypts. However did you manage?
Alone? Lady Morgan, I was never alone. Each skeleton I felled was replaced by two more. Each wight I returned to ash was but a single peon in an entire legion of undead. Now I didn't feel alone. Quite the contrary. Actually, in fact, I felt invigorated.
And the artifact itself? Was it worth your efforts?
Oh, not hardly. Had the foe not afforded me the opportunity to sharpen my skills during this errand, it would have been an utter waste of time and resources.
Resources? As in the guardsmen who went with you?
Aye, that lot. But I suppose that's why I was sent. To succeed where they would fail. And I'll tell you all about it if you'll be my guest at my chapter's meet later this evening. I'm being honored there, and your presence would honor me even more.
Oh well, in that case.
Morgan! I suspected I'd find you shirking your duty by dawdling and courting some lowly knight in the marketplace. You have a duty to Lady Ciara.
A lowly knight?
Miss Lumen, believe me, I'm taking care of what Lady Sierra asked of me. Now, please, be off with you. I have something important to discuss with Sir Burkus.
Fie. Important? This is important?
Oh, enough of this. Normally I'd deign to teach you your place here, mercenary. But I already find myself thoroughly annoyed by your presence. To teach you anything must be a chore. One that I fear not even I could endure.
Oh? Why? Step down from your mount, Sir Burkus, and I promise to learn quickly.
Oh, come off it. This is dreadfully unpleasant, and I shan't waste any more time talking to you. Lady Morgan, please speak to me when you're in better company. As for you, freelancer, for your sake, I hope you can back up your, let's call it bravado.
Well, Lucille, you single-handedly disrupted my biggest lead in the city, and publicly to boot.
And you, frittering away precious time abusing the trust of Lady Ciara?
He's a lead, Lucille. Do you think I could have tolerated that man otherwise?
I see. Very well, I'm in error. And I apologize. But still, Lord Burkus? He may be a knight, but I'd bet that his horse is more vital to the city than he is. Why bother with him?
Obviously, I could be reading into nothing. The fact that a man so concerned with his image has failed to build any sort of real claim is curious. Well, to me at least. He's been here since well before the fall of Mirheim, and yet, unlike many of the other knights in his chapter, the townspeople seem to have no real opinion of him. In fact, sometimes it seems that only those affected by his little acts of debauchery are even aware of his presence. Why do you think that is?
Because he's a wretch. A disgrace to the profession of arms, clearly.
That's what I thought at first. But there's no way. His comrades are equally or comparably skilled, and some are terribly dim. For example, I sold one of his bunkmates an old oiler by claiming it was once owned by Lord Hector of Hammerbrake.
Hector of Hammerbrake? Was he one of our knights? I don't recognize the name.
Yeah, that's because I made him up. Look, anyways, I'm glad that you're looking out for me, but in the future, please try to restrain yourself a bit. I almost had a way into this meetup. Now I've got to hope that the invitation he was extending is still valid.
You still plan to attend?
Absolutely. Like I said, this is the best lead I have. I feel like I'm finally really close to some results.
Very well. But I fear there may be more danger than you've planned for. I must ask you to consider bringing me with you.
I figured you would. I would have been fine with you tagging along, but thanks to that little incident, I've got to play it a little closer to the chest. Even then, you would have to wait outside somewhere and come in only if something has gone wrong. If all that's fine with you, then you're welcome to participate.
Very well.
Good. Now he didn't let slip where this little celebration is. We'll probably have to tail him before he gets too far away.
The man is on horseback. How do you expect to keep up with him?
Well, the man is probably stopping to annoy every breathing woman between here and his destination. I promise you, we'll catch up.
It didn't take long for the pair to find the knight. As expected, his stops were frequent and uncomfortably long. However, the further they pursued him, the harder it became to stay concealed. The crowds thinned as the sun began its descent, and by dusk it had become a challenge to stay hidden.
By the Heldenhammer, how does he accomplish anything? The man has the attention span of a half-brained Unger.
Quiet down. He stopped.
Do you think he spotted us? He's looking around like a frightened rodent.
That's not fear. Not at all. But why would he be scanning around like that? This is just a banquet, isn't it? Perhaps a hail and farewell? I can't understand having a guard, but... How strange.
Well, go on then. Gain entry so we can sort this out already.
Of course. Let me just... Wait. You know what I just realized? I didn't have to hide at all. Only you did. He said I was welcome to talk to him. He just had a problem with you. Now it'll look all the more suspicious if I walk up now and try to make it seem like I belong.
Well, while he was sitting here worrying about it, he walked inside.
Of course he did.
How do you expect to get in there? He was your invitation, wasn't he?
I suppose I can try to bluff.
Do you really think that will work? Burkus may be allowed, but the rest of his order seems fine and upstanding, and certainly able to discern a lie.
Confidence is key, I find. And if I fail, I happen to know someone willing to rescue me.
All right. Set it in motion.
Hold on there! Who do you think you are? You clearly see me standing here. Why would you just try to open the door?
Excuse me, I have a very important message for Lord Burkus.
You don't know what you're talking about. He isn't here.
Of course I do, and of course he is. Do you think my employer would have dispatched me with such urgency if they didn't know? Why, maybe it's you who doesn't know what they're talking about.
Wait, what?
If I didn't know what I was doing, do you think I would brazenly walk up to a shoddy door guardsman by an armed sentry in a barely lit alley?
Fine, but I kill you myself if I have to.
That seems mildly inappropriate.
Hurry up.
Right away. Oh dear, this was a pretty big miscalculation.
All eyes were on her. There were no knightly banners or chapter honours adorning the walls. In their place were tattered rags with crude, unfamiliar symbols on it. The rags were various shades of pink and blue, though Morgan reasoned this was not an artistic choice. The scene before her was odd and overwhelming. Hooded and sometimes disfigured cultists were swarming in this building, and it became clear to her that she had interrupted something important. There was a tense moment of silence as they all stared at her, clearly as surprised as she was.
Hey, who's there?
What is this, Burkus? Bringing a counselor's mongrel into this?
Oh, she's not with me, hag. Besides, it's your lot that loves this sort of thing. Though, this does complicate things.
Grab her!
Would you kindly bring her forward?
Lord Burkus, what is this?
Has it not become clear? I thought you had wits, Lady Morgan. I suppose not.
I only wanted to go with you to the celebration.
Don't despair. This is a celebration. Just not one suited to your particular tastes.
This is clearly a matter of some importance, and I apologize for intruding. If it pleases you, I can wait for you elsewhere. I didn't mean to be such a disturbance.
You know, you'd be a better liar if you weren't so stupid. I thought your master was either unaware or at the very least wise enough to not kick the nest. Oh, she has put you in quite the conundrum, hasn't she?
Enough of this. Dispose of her so we can return to business.
Oh, be patient, you dust-topped shrew. You've already got plenty of years on you, but a few more minutes.
You petulant little cur. If I wasn't here on behalf of my superior,
You'd what, Petrel? Wipe me out in a series of internecine skirmishes in the city depths? Let the craven god reclaim another city that he dropped in the mud? You can't do anything to me, and you know it.
Just kill her and be done with it.
No, I want her to feel fear. I want the sensation of dread to fill her body, so that when I slit her throat, it comes spilling out.
Would you mind not looking at me like that if you're gonna talk that way?
Do you know what this is, Lady Morgan?
Burkus, don't you dare tell her a thing.
This is the artifact you are so desperately trying to glean details about. See that green glow? This little thing has been kissed by the gods. And that detail makes all the difference. This is the key to sights and sounds that would make your very mind shrivel up and beg for mercy. And with it, we'll banish the dead from our walls and lay claim to the city.
I won't allow you to reveal our entire plan, you fool!
Oh, quiet you. Now, make no mistake, my dear lady. This artifact is the beginning of the end. Your curmudgeonly friend, your lovely little benefactor, the horrors they'll experience are beyond your comprehension. But I am fond of you, you know? The entire time we worked to this end, I found myself rather sad for your inevitable fate. But not anymore, I'm happy to say. I'm doing you a favor. The others will wish their end came as quickly as yours. You there, hand me your blade.
Good. Be quick about it. There is much to do.
I still have a function to attend, though I will need to find a date now.
Burkas drew the blade he was handed, admired its sheen for a brief moment, and kneeled to offer a final farewell. But there were more daggers hidden in the darkness, a fact he'd soon discovered. At once, shadows fell from the ceiling and windows, drawing blood as they pounced on the cultists that were patiently waiting for Morgan's end.
To arms, you idiots! Flailing about like a hooked fish will earn you nothing but your last rites!
The shadows dashed and flickered about their next victims, their little red eyes flashing about as they killed. Some of the cultists began to lash out in fear, unable to discern friend from foe. Others were enraged, believing they had been double-crossed, and flew into a cascade of blows.
Someone, grab her! If you expect me to do the killing for you lot, then you'd better at least do something!
Sorry, Burkus. I really should be going.
Oh, how delightfully funny! Ha! Everything in this room is trying to kill you, you know!
Not everything.
Morgan, take the sword!
Thank you. No, seriously, thank you.
I'm not sure what I should be more insulted by. That the rat men have come to Madrigal, or the darkness has taken root.
This is Brother Darren from the Temple of Sigmar. He was more than willing to aid us.
I would have been twice as eager had I known.
Brother Darren, please don't perceive this as me being ungrateful, but wasn't the Temple of Sigmar preparing to receive the Stormcast? How did you get out of this quarter?
I was en route to greet them in the city center when your friend came running down the streets looking for a guard.
I couldn't find any. It was that they all just disappeared from the streets.
That's beside the point now, my friend.
You can't win a straight fight here.
Well, I'm going to try.
And if you do, you're going to die.
She's right. Loath as I am to allow these wretches to live, we must escape, so that we can return with the might of the God King behind us.
Oh, Morgan!
Huh?
Heck,
Morgan, are we leaving or not?
Lucille, he just threw this relic at me. He was just telling me how important this was. Why would he?
Surrender the trinket before I take it from you.
It talks like a man. Let us see if it dies like one too.
I've seen more dead man things than you have hiding in this city. And if you surrender the trinket, I will see thee less.
You surrender your life, I shall take it quickly.
Brother Darren, we can't win. We need to escape while we can.
Yes, scurry, flee from here. I shall track you down and...
Ha! Too focused on its impotent little threats. Didn't see it coming.
Now, let's retreat while we can.
Right, let's get this back to the council.
The sounds of ripping flesh and striking steel faded as the trio made their escape. But even as they were clear of the den, Morgan swore she heard laughing ebb away along with the sounds of battle.